What's up, everybody? Thank you so much for watching this episode. We had an issue with the audio. We're still learning it just a little bit. So please forgive the audio quality. Next week is going to be way, way better, we promise. We've gotten moved into a new house with a recording studio, and so all these bugs should just be ironed out nice and neat. So please, enjoy the episode. Thank you, guys.
What's up, everybody? It's me, Tam Cardwell. We're having a bit of a chill cast today. This is me and Barrett. Oh no, let's not do any of that. Having a chill, fun podcast here on UFS University's Study Hall. Barrett, how are you, my dude?
I'm just fine. I'm glad we're taking the true podcast vibe and using our librarian voices.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. So, what Study Hall is for the uninitiated, unenrolled. We've taken a bunch of your guys' UFS topics, as well as some of our own, and we sit down and we discuss them for your amusement, entertainment, and knowledge. So, last week's episode we were wearing the same clothes. That's because we're double recording.
Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year. Because at time of recording, next week will be Christmas, like the day of Christmas, like the 25th.
Yes, and we've already recorded for that.
And we
just finished recording.
We won't be here to record this week's episode, so we're just doubling up.
Yeah. Well, this will actually be the week after New Year's.
Right.
We forgot to say New Year's on the last.
Yeah, it happens. So. For my Patreon people though,
they're gonna see this one
on New Year's.
Before New Year's.
Before New Year's.
They will have this one on Friday before New Year's.
The 31st or whatever.
No, 31st is a Monday.
The 29th was 14th. The 2014.
God,
whatever.
You're so fucking 28.
So what this podcast is going to be is actually going to be a fairly chill podcast, just because it's just me and Barrett. As opposed to the topics per se, we've been given a bit of a challenge by one of my Patreon producers, Will Sutton. He gave me a topic, and a very big topic, of he wants to see exciting deck building. And so what I want to do is I want to sit down and count this as like a little mini Zero to Hero arc. Fair? Did you see the Zero to Heroes that I did? So I have 2 Zero to Hero podcasts, which I would love to start back up, and I'm probably doing it to you. Because it's okay. It's a 4-part webisode of 4 different topics that I ask about professional UMS players. I've done one with Miles, the Legend of Tyler, and I've done one with Phil Birch, the King of Salt. And we just talked about 4 different aspects about UFS, and the last one's always like, who are you, why do you matter in the game? But this is going to be a little more conversational as opposed to like really sitting down topic by topic, day by day.
Okay, I get that.
Yeah.
I'm a very avid UFS University supporter. You can tell because I totally know what the past content is.
It's all good. That was back like season 0 of the show, back when we didn't 100%.
Man, how'd you get Phil Birch on this podcast?
He was hanging out in Miles' basement.
He won't even talk to me unless I'm in the finals.
It's because you gotta fucking earn it, my dude. Okay, so Will Stull, shout outs, my dude. He said on a comment on Patreon, which if you like our content, go out to patreon.com/TCG University, hit us up, it's up to yours. Second topic idea, I was hoping you guys discussed a character being viable and unique under different symbols, and this Cage being the obvious example. Using a popular character or 2 as an example, could you walk us through the pros and cons or flavor profile? It would help new players expand their character approaches and grease the wheels of creativity in new ways to play old favorites. I gave him a response that says, let's take it one step further. Give us 3 characters to analyze. Damn. And then he says, let's go with some of the faculty's favorites, which I will.
Oh, are we the faculty?
I
get it. That's why you picked Cassie Cage.
Oh my god, it's so sick. Cassie Cage, Lord Raptor 2, and Akuma 2. I don't believe there are much or any symbols overlapping, so that would keep from being redundant.
I agree.
So what we are going to do in addition to that is we're going to add a Bebop character, because one, Bebop is another character set that's relevant. There are so few and far between characters that are relevant pre-Bebop. You can say Vega and Stoneman possibly, and like some random other ones. But Bebop, Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter vs. Darkstalkers, and then continuing forward, those will all probably be very meta relevant.
And we picked the young mistress herself, Faye, because you are also well acquainted with her, and I played against Faye at Nationals, as well as the other option was Spike 1, and I think, honestly, 2 of those decks are just very similar.
Yes.
So we decided to stay away from it, where I think when we were briefly talking about Faye, they were all 3 very different decks.
And the Faye decks that we could easily come to mind under all 3 symbols are, you played one in
Played one at Nationals.
Nationals
And
under
you played-
Chaos.
Yes, and you
I've
played 2
built
different
a
cards.
good deck, and I'm currently playing a water deck. So
Yes,
it's
sir.
very easy for me to talk about those 2 symbols and you to talk about the third.
Absolutely.
So I want to go ahead and I want to start with the boogeyman himself, Akuma 2 Dot. And let's start with the obvious one, Akuma under Evil. So when we're making Akuma under Evil, we have to really take into account what it is that he's wanting to do.
Yeah, so I think the biggest difference that you're really going to see with Akuma under each of his symbols is that, okay, Akuma, the character, wants to synergize with this face-down cards in the card pool mechanic. And so when you look at Akuma across all of his symbols, which symbols share that symbol with other characters that can deal with face-down cards in our card pool?
Okay.
And so Gyroman is the biggest contender under the evil symbol, and his cards directly kind of affect Akuma's cards as well, I would say.
I totally agree.
Akuma has incredible synergy with multiples, and one of the better multiple attacks for that synergy is Gyroman's Gyro attack. And so that's kind of the biggest ones that we're talking about, as well as the big baddie foundation that has made big rise in the community, which is admission fees, being incredibly good in Akuma, and the only having access to it in the symbol.
Yeah, absolutely. Just for my new players, if you're playing Akuma, this is the symbol you play it under. We're still going to do the deck profiles, or the very loosest deck profiles.
Like, we're not going to sit here and build a deck for y'all, but we are going to talk about the cards that would be, like, very good under them and why they're different from other builds.
Yeah, absolutely. So, like, the main thing that Evil gets is it gets access to Fade, it gets access to admonition fees, and it gets access, honestly, to if we wanted to, Gyroman stuff, plus, like, I think some of Mad Pete stuff is really good.
I think not even just that, it's also access to just Desperation support in general.
Okay.
His other 2 symbols, it being in Void and Order. Order, oh goodness.
You okay?
Yeah, burping it up.
You getting
from
those
this
wangs?
DP.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I'm tasting a little bit of wings. No,
Hey,
but and
Dr. Pepper, if you'd like to sponsor our podcast, we would absolutely love it.
Snapple Company, come for us, please. I also drink Snapple. I will be all down for that. Anyway, so under Order, we have absolutely 0 Desperation support. So like that deck is going to be the most different across all of these. And under Void, we don't necessarily have Desperation support, but we do share symbols with Melina, which has more Desperation style-esque cards. So like those decks might be a little bit more similar, but Evil is like what we said, the most go-to. And the only reason why Desperation being a little simple for us is, although our character does not inherently lose Vitality, because we're going to have access to so many cards that lose Vitality, we get to take advantage of not only his attack that has Desperation on it, but other cards with Desperation enhances or abilities on them to, let's say, draw more cards in our hand, which is a really big thing for the Evil symbol right now.
I think the coolest thing we can do under Order or Void Akuma is probably the card Rain Flush. Rain Flush reads, you may discard 1 card with 2 or more keywords from your card pool in addition to pay momentum for the cost of this card's multiple ability, and it has multiple 1. And so anytime that you play one of Akuma's cards that doesn't count, and you stack a card in, if you are able to add in Rain Flush or play Rain Flush, you turn one of your face-up cards into another face-down card. And you can just cycle Rain Flushes if you can play those cards the same.
I think one of the coolest things you can do under Void is, so we still get access to Fade, that being an incredibly strong card for him, which is honestly probably good enough to maybe take the Akuma deck to a slightly more defensive approach.
Oh, yeah.
And that being said, I think what a really cool way to do that with is actually with Unite as an action card as well. Unite saying on your opponent's turn, you can send it to your momentum and clear your card pool. So, when we are blocking a ton of cards with Akuma, because we're going to be playing a different kind of control-y aspect of the deck, eventually we hit this point, after we flipped all of our cards face down, we can clear them all. And then we also add to the action to our momentum. As well, offensively, we can use it to ready our foundations. And some of the really good ones to ready are this 1 difficulty foundation that says commit, give +X for each face down card in your card pool, as well as his 2-diff Drained by a Kiss, Enhanced Commit, you can kick 2 face downs from your card pool. So being able to ready cards like that are really good when being able to combine with cards that don't necessarily ignore face downs in your card pool. So kicking them might actually help you outplay some extra cards.
Man, if you under either Void or Order, if you play the Sub-Zero packages, you're gonna stun everything. You're just a stun monster.
So like the Deep Freeze Frosthammer package, is that what you're gonna say?
Yeah. And at the same time, like currently the way that we're seeing Akuma play, because he's just allowed to do it, is he really gets away with just like stacking a bunch of face downs in your playing a bunch of face downs in your card pool, and then my brain stopped for one whole second because I thought that I was allowed to play Feel My Power in this deck, and I was gonna freak out. I just want to play that card so bad. But like it's possible that we actually just don't Akuma enhance on everything, and then
absolutely.
and then we just, or even if we do, we add in cool stuff face up.
So
like the other thing that we get to do maybe is like play Admonition Feast, or not Admonition Feast, Season Guide. And Season Guide means I get to look at the top card of my deck, and Akuma actually says I put something in face up or face down.
Yeah.
So if I need to hack a check as opposed to stunning something, I'll do that. And I still get the stun. I still get the stun, but I don't get the damage for each face down.
Yes. I think that's actually a really cool way to put it. I think that's probably the biggest thing that you get access to when you use the order symbol is that you get Season Guide, and I think Season Guide being used in your deck as that response that you're talking about, but it gives you a card to hack your opponent's check on the first attack, which means you have something to hack their check for every attack.
Yeah.
Because you just snowball down.
Does Rayman have order? No, he has
all
evil
life, right?
Yeah, all evil life. Which is like, man, I would just keep coming back to the evil symbol. Like, could you imagine adding in the ultra rare with Merciless Master from your momentum, putting it on top of your deck?
That'd be really cool.
Yeah. Or there are some Gyro Man cards that stack face downs from your card pool back on top of your deck. So if you want to,
Oh, okay,
you can stack them on top of your deck, add it back in, and then flip it again. Like there's just like a bunch of really cool things that you can do. Like,
Man, alright, under Void, alright, let's get real. Let's actually get real about this. Ermax Teleport Punch.
yeah, that card's nuts.
Respond hand, add this to your card pool, check a 6. After your opponent plays their first attack this turn, add it back to their hand, and then you play this. So, you play the attack, you're going to send a 4 mid for 5, essentially, because you'll probably add a card in face down, stun one them, and you added their card back, and you have the face up Ermac Teleport Punch to hack their check when they want to play it again. It's very similar to like the Fade thing, but you're hitting them with an attack.
Yeah.
I think this sounds actually very good. Ermax Teleport Punch also has the enhanced check a 6 to draw a card, so you can kind of replace itself essentially.
Totally. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to look at some other stuff. You know what would be really cool under Void, actually? Like a really fun throw Akuma deck. You get shit like Mexican Typhoon. You get shit like Spinning Pile Driver. Final Curse Entombment seems really nuts. Tombstone Center, Sliding Ankle Breaker. All of those cards, just if you can pass them, just get big damage. It's like real big damage. The other options that we have are like, man, I can't. This character would have been really hype if.
So obvious things under Evil as well. I know not as many people are choosing to play this card because they're choosing to play Gyro Attack instead. I think Sadistic Ways under the Evil deck is very good for
Oh
him.
yeah, totally.
Just because you can use it for the gain 2 momentum, or that you can choose to use it as your multiple attack instead of Gyro Attack. I think it's actually also a very good alternative if you can't get a hold of Gyro Attack. That card is older, and we're very blessed to have our card bank so that we do have access to them. But Sadistic Ways is a definitely good alternative, just because it also can get really good once you hit Desperation as well. So that's it's an obvious one in my opinion.
Yeah,
I think the coolest thing under Order is probably what you're talking about, though, like adding that extra stun on all of the Sub-Zero stuff. You can do it under Void too, though. Like you can actually do that under both.
Yeah.
And under both of the symbols, you also can play things like Kian, and almost every one of Sub-Zero stuff are already weapons. So you can give it even extra stun. Like you can go super stun heavy under that deck, and they already have a very high base damage. And then when your opponent goes to block your Frost Hammer, instead of you inherently giving a lot of speed to it, you hack their check for the block.
Yeah.
So I think it still works out, you know.
Yeah. I agree. Yeah, I think the coolest thing that this deck that these decks can do. I'm looking for powerful attacks.
I like Search for Saurians a lot in Akuma.
Oh my goodness.
Like anything you get to look at the top. No, we're not Yoga Inferno.
Now hold on.
It hasn't been face up. That's true, right?
Face down.
Oh, it.
Ooh. At the top card deck to your card pool face down. After enhanced ability is played, cancel effect. Only playable if there are at least 2 range attacks in your card pool.
So it including itself, right?
Yes.
So let's look up Void ranged right now. Man, this is cool. It's kind of like the deck building process, but like we're sitting on camera.
Yeah.
All right.
And that's kind of why I wanted
Soul
to...
Ball, Telechoke, Acid Spit, Force Ball, Reptile Slide, Ice Ball.
Did you say Telechoke?
Yeah.
That seems like like this is the greediest Akuma deck that's ever lived. It's real.
Takeda's Kunai, Dust Crusher, Kurame Dama, Leaf Shield's a good one, especially in defense.
The cool thing about Yoga Inferno is it's powerful. That's actually what I looked up. I looked up powerful attacks.
Oh, okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think that's really another approach that you can go with him is playing a bunch of powerful attacks under these other symbols and doing the hand hack stuff with the 3 diff.
So under Void, we also get Dimension Door Ambush. It's got
Yep.
stun 1, powerful 1.
And it
Response,
does the-
add this card to your hand, discard 1 attack. After opponent plays an attack with 2 or more keywords, add it to their hand and play this attack.
Yeah, so that works just like the.
It's a 5 for 5 with stun 1 and powerful 1. So
that's way better than the
that-
teleport punch.
that's super good.
Does that
actually.
Void or Order?
Yeah, it's got Void.
Okay, so that's just actually way better than the teleport punch because
Yeah.
the teleport punch is a 5 diff, but you have to check a 6 to do it.
Yeah.
And this card is just way easier. It just needs that keyword requirement, I guess.
Which, unless you're fighting Gil, you'll get.
You know, for that range thing for the Yoga Inferno, we still have access to like Napalm Bomb and Homing Missiles. So,
Yeah.
like, those are just generically good ones.
I mean, it burns you, it stuns you, it gets more damage. Like, I don't know what more you could ask
Yeah.
for.
Everywhere? That's right.
Yo, everywhere would be tight. That also powerful, yeah? No? Okay,
No.
powerful, does it?
Dank Laser does.
Done.
And
Yo,
ranged.
I think, we're getting a little off the beaten track. I think Face might actually have some legs on Void this format.
Just because of that 3 diff?
Because of that 3 diff.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, you already, under Void, like, you still get access to, like, Loyal Servant and Face of a Monster, so, like,
Yeah.
that deadline pressure exists. You might just have to play a slower game.
Yeah. You can learn to survive. Anyways, back to Akuma. Yeah, I think, like, the issue with Akuma is he's so locked into evil. But, like, there's definitely something that you can explore here. We haven't even talked about, like, under Order, like, all of Sagat's stuff.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
All of Sagat's attacks are completely and totally valid.
I think Sagat's attacks are the biggest way to do this. Like, I'll add in this face down. I'll kick this face down. Kind of like, instead of having to clog our card pool with all these face downs, we instead are using them as resources and gaining abilities, and then kicking them to gain other abilities.
Like, the other thing that you can do with, like, Akuma is, you could actually just play, like, a lot of his cool support of, like, response flip after this attack resolves, flip it, and whatnot. And if you can, like, he could just be, like, an Order reversal character. I'll block this thing, I'll reversal you, I'll Akuma, I'll add this thing in face down. And now this has stun 1 and plus whatever.
Yeah.
I flipped an attack, I whatever, and maybe being able to play cards on their turn is just good enough.
I think that's the best way to do it, specifically because you can use like his.
His reversal's nuts.
So like his reversal is essentially, it was described by Kevin Broberg on
Convict Heroes.
Convict Heroes, thank you, as a new Nevos, and he might have been saying that jokingly, but like essentially it is.
I've died to that card plenty of times.
Yeah, and I think it's the scariest part of that card is when you play it as a reversal, and it's when you play it as a reversal after you've blocked multiple things or after you've hacked so many checks. And so once you get to this like mass of like 1, 2, 3 face downs in your card pool, and then you block something with a really good, let's say, I don't know, his 3 diff that also ignores face downs when you want to block with it 2 mid block, and then turning it around and then playing that reversal on them. And then because you have that face up block in your card pool, you can hack their check and you want to block that reversal. And it's just so good.
So you ready? So it's like Spiral Arrow. The Kami card is a 5 for 5. That says enhance commit one non-character card in your opponent's stage area.
Yeah, I actually think the reversal one, I think it's actually very good.
So
yeah.
like at the very least, it's like a 5 for 6 that you have a block card in their card pool. So if they attempt to block your attack, you flip it and check their minus their check by 2. Or you have 2 cards in your card pool on the reversal, so their turn's over. You just get to you have a block in your card pool, and you have a hell even just you ready? So here's the way you play Order Akuma.
Yeah.
I block. I reversal, I Akuma, and I add in a card face up.
Yeah, and you have 2 cards to Hector check.
I've got 3 cards to Hexer check. I've got
Oh,
a
yeah,
block,
the
a
block,
reversal,
reversal.
and that card.
Yeah, well, I mean, you obviously you want to try and flip your reversal just for the momentum.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, you're right. That's essentially the best way to do it because you don't have access to fade.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But like I can take and look at the same ability under because Evil doesn't have very good reversals. And maybe reversal tech is like something that might just like take Akuma from being this really shallow tip of the iceberg character and move him
So
on.
something with a little more actual
Depth,
counterplay. Yeah, and like that's why his reversal is so strong, is because it does what he wants to do and synergizes with his character and hits really hard, which means it's a relevant reversal.
Yo, reptile slide seems hype as hell.
Yeah, you just add it in.
Yeah,
by revealing
just
2
add it
hits.
in, remove it. I don't really care if it leaves.
2 of his attacks are mids.
Yeah.
I mean, you can also just do a reptile package Akuma, under
Yeah.
void or no,
Yeah.
under void. Sorry,
Claw swipe and reptile slide.
it's a reversal.
Randomly violent Tatsumaki is good.
The 6-2?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's another multiple card.
Remove your hand from the game, add the top 2 cards, protect your momentum. You just get to do that under void. And so it's a 1 mid, yeah, but they all have stun 1 and plus 1,000 damage. You have to block them all.
That's true.
And if you can figure out some way to play them late, and this card randomly has Deadlock Reversal.
Oh my gosh, it does have that
Yes.
reversal. I remember that. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
That's really cool. Yeah, and I think that's actually the biggest difference. I think what we're kind of finding with all of these decks is I think how fast you want to play this character.
Yeah.
I think Evil is the turbo. Let's go. Admonition speeds speeds up the deck so much dramatically offensively, and you being able to block so early on. I think Void is the turbo defensive one that we're kind of talking about. And I think Order is this, like I kind of mentioned about how I think about the Void, or the Orders of War right now, is this mid-range one, and using really good reversals at really key times. Princess Perry is so nuts at them. Are you kidding me?
It's actually disgusting.
Yeah. That with Faith, that's nuts.
Yeah,
Like, James needs to up his game.
Yeah, James sucks. Like even if you wanted to like this is the silliest thing I'm ever gonna suggest, but like you could play Portal Kick, put Akuma 1-dots in your deck, and then this Portal Kick says if you have at least 1 character in your discard pile or remove from the game, draw a card. And if it deals damage, your opponent's next check to play card gets -2 failing the check design into the combat phase. So
I wish that card shared one other symbol that he had, because then we can also get away with playing like Here We Go and actually attaching the
yeah, but like so with Portal Kick as a reversal, it draws you a card, so it replaces itself. It has +1. It's 2 cards because of block reversal, and they have to block it.
or they get minus to the next check.
Or they get minus to the next
and
check.
that failing that does in their turn.
So like,
Correct.
failing this does not end their turn. The Portal Kick, but like, I don't know. It's a free Akuma. It's Akuma twice on 1 card.
Yeah.
And so like,
Yeah, no, I think it's for sure. Like, this character seems very linear and is very restricted to this one package. But there are so many cards, like Princess Fairy under Evil, Dimension Door Ambush under Void, Ermax Teleport Punch under Void. Like, those kind of effects, I think, are where he really shines, kind of thing.
Absolutely.
And even just like what you said, instead of adding a card face down, because like your opponent plays their first attack, you're like, bounce it, I want to play mine, and then you enhance Akuma, just add a face up, and you're like,
yeah,
I have 2 cards. I'm going to hang your checks.
twice.
You're getting committed.
Yeah.
Or you're discarding cards.
Yep. Yeah, I think that's like,
Man, I really kind of want to play some cool stuff now, but I know he called dibs.
yeah.
I know that's why I can't touch him. But man, he better up his game or we're taking the deck apart.
I don't know about all that, but you know, he might not get second. I guess.
Yeah, you're right.
So with that, I think we're gonna go ahead and move on to. Oh, hold on, I want to say one last thing. You ready?
Yeah.
I think this deck would be really cool. Did I just say Sand Grenade for this deck?
No, yeah, so
Yeah, I think Sand Grenade would be very, very cool. It's a
Under
really,
order?
yeah, a really easy way to +1 for all your committed foundations.
Yeah.
All my attacks have stun 1. This plus a Caltrips. Seems nuts.
Yeah, I just don't know how you're going to get as much momentum as you would like. That it's under order. It's very hard.
We can play Fatality.
I know we can just play
And
Fatality.
what's his face has a throw, right?
The guy.
No, Aaron Black.
Yeah.
Good about
Sand trap.
Yeah, which I'm allowed to give just a bunch of damage.
Yeah, it'll be rough just because your cards don't ignore it, but yeah, you can do it.
Alright, I think we're going to go ahead and move on to the second topic of the night. So, thanks for joining us. It's going to be another character.
Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this week's episode of Study Hall. If you like this video a lot, go ahead and you can click on this one over here to see last week's video of Study Hall. This one over here is going to be a playlist of our past study halls that we've been doing, or any of our other past content. We're going to have another square, I think right over here. Tam's going to put it right there for me. If you're new to UFS and you don't know what we talked about this week, feel free to check that out if you're new and you want to get to know the game a little bit better. And if you want to support us, we brought it up before, go ahead and click on our Patreon. That link's going to be right over here next to me. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and we'll hopefully see you next week.